Hello everyone and welcome to Mental Right Financial. I'm happy to connect with us this evening. If you hear and see me clearly, please can you kindly let me know. Maybe send a message or just send a message. That way I will know that you can hear me and you can see me clearly. Thank you. Sorry for the delay. Okay. Still waiting for everyone to connect. Meanwhile, while we're waiting, I want to specifically say I am glad to have you join this training. This is supposed to help us prepare, refresh, recharge, and refire in 2022. So the hope of this camp program is to help us, is to assist us get better, prepare, think about the things we have done over the years and see how we can adjust, see how we can retrace our steps, and then look at those things we have done correctly and what we have not done so well, and see if there are areas we need to address and if there are areas we need to improve. This is the essence of this camp, and it is my belief that at the end of this camp, every one of us will become a better person at our finances in 2022. So I want to tell you that you are in the right place, and let's all just go all out to succeed. So if you can hear me already, please kindly send a comment. Let me know. Just send I can hear you. Say something. Use the comment. Use the chat box. Let me know that you can hear and see me, and then we will proceed from there. And you can always remind others to join us. Send the link to them, share the link with other people. All right, yes, I can see one like already, but I am still waiting for your comment. I want to know that you can hear, you can see me. I want to be sure that you can see me. Oh, very good, Mr. Victor. Visible, he said visible and audible. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. All right, then. Others will join as we continue. All right, today we're going to be looking at strategies for rejuvenating your finances. Strategies for rejuvenating your finances. So, what are those things we have done? What are we currently doing? And what do we need to even stop doing so as to get better at our finances? Yes, thank you, Mrs. Dorothy. I saw that. You can hear me and then see me. Thank you very much. I am glad to have you join us. Can remind your folks to also join this training. And in case you're just coming in, this will continue until Sunday. So, and it's going to be a combination of both video interaction and a live chat. And I have a couple of people that will also come around to share with us some of their experiences. So I am not going to be speaking just from what we have read. No, it's going to be more of experience and how we have been able to navigate through all of them. Okay, so today, if we want to look at strategies to rejuvenate our finances, first, I want to assume that every one of us already have something doing. We are all action figures. We all have one business or the other doing, or we are already working or government, or somehow you're making money, you're an action figure. That's my assumption. And you're already earning money. So it is either that the money is not enough, or you earn enough money but somehow cannot manage well, or you may even manage well and something you think is enough for you, but somehow you can't just fix yourself. You can't pay your bills despite how careful you think you are. Well, that calls for a lot of a lot of redress. You need to go back and retrace your step and see where you have gone wrong, what you're doing wrongly. Now, if we do not do this and then start to set goals for next year, there is 90% chances that you are going to repeat the same thing. So nothing is really going to be new. The sun will continue to rise in 2022. The day will always give way to the night in 2022. Nothing really will change except that you become a changed person. You change your strategies and at all the things you have always done in a new way and see how you can improve them or stop doing some of those things that have hindered our success throughout this year. However, we should also be grateful that we have come this far. There were people who saw January and didn't see December or even up to half of this year. So we have our health. If it's money, it will come when the time is right. So that's something we should be thankful for. However, we cannot be stagnant. We have to continue to see how we can make our own life better. Now, let's dive into it. If you're already in a business or you work somewhere and you're earning money, no matter how much you earn, I know and believe that you want to earn more. Okay? And funny enough, the more money we make, the more we tend to spend. Our ego rises and then we spend as much as we make, except we are financially disciplined. So what are these strategies we can use to rejuvenate our finances, supposing that we have taken note of one issue or the other that has affected our finances? Now here I am not talking about a get rich quick scheme. I'm not saying that you are going to invest somewhere today and make hundreds of millions tomorrow. No. In fact, if that's what you're looking for, please, you are not in the right place. Okay, but saying that we can improve on what we currently earn. We can look at our finances in a different way and see how we can help each other become better. So one of the things we need to look at is that we need to start to ask ourselves questions before you even at how to even improve it, what strategies to use, what are you supposed to be doing. You need to ask yourself, do I have the required knowledge to even manage money? Now, I'm not asking, when I talk about required knowledge, I'm not talking about whether you know how to sell and make more money, whether you know the meaning of money, the definition of money, whether you know about inflation and deflation. These are not the things I'm talking about. Okay, the knowledge about what you even do to make money, the knowledge about money itself. What, or do you understand money as an entity? You need to ask yourself that question, because money, of course, is just a means of exchange, but beyond that, there is something much more than that we need to understand about money. Money is more than what we know about. It's not just a means of exchange. No. Money has characteristics. Money has traits. And we need to understand these characteristics and traits. See, the man that understands the characteristics and traits of money is the one that can play around with money because he understands it. It's just like those days in school, you are a student who probably understand the basics, the fundamentals of mathematics. You can always choose what formula to use. For example, you want to solve quadratic equation. There are more than two formulas you can use to solve that. But a student who knows this knows that he has several options and he can always choose any of them to arrive at his answers. Now, he understands this very well and he can choose to play around with the question because he understands the fundamentals and he knows that there are different ways to get to the answer. But the one who only knows one formula probably thinks that he knows something. And once that fails him, he feels that he's already a loser. But the one that knows more than one, two, three, or four, every time one fails, he chooses another. He tries out another. He keeps trying until he finds the right answer. And sometimes, if he's going to fail, because he understands the method so well, he knows that this is not going to help me arrive at the right answer. So, how much of the characteristics of finance, money, do we know? How much of the traits do we even understand? Do you know how it works? For example, do you understand that money does not like to be stagnant? Do you understand that money likes to be busy? Now, if you understand, how can you keep it busy? How can you make it work? How can you move it from being stagnant to working and earning more? These are questions you need answers to. And if you're yet to answer these questions, well, you might be earning money, but may not be able to keep and grow it. So keeping is not just about saving in the bank. It is much more than that. Now, another thing we need to look at is to start treating your finance like a living being. You don't get it. We might have to treat this a topic more than one, in more than one session. Now, start to treat your finance like a living being. Your finance needs to have a life. You need to let it breathe. Now, if you do not give it life, treat it like a living being and let it breathe. Now, letting it breathe, it means it needs to feed well. It needs a space where it can live fine. It needs all the nutritions that can help its body grow very well, just like humans. Now, how do you do that with your finances? You make this money, you save enough. Saving requires discipline. So you keep it at least for a period of 1 year to think of ways. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you very much. And I hope it's starting to make sense. Now, and not just keeping it, you need to also multiply this money. But before you do that, you need to have a reasonable amount of money to even whether you want to invest or start a business. You need to have a reasonable amount of money. Now, if it's not certain that someone is going to give you a huge amount of money or grant or some money that you don't have to pay back, then you need to raise yourself. Since you're already working and earning money, certain percentage of what you earn should go into saving, and you can shut your eyes to that saving for like 1 year, 6 months, depending on what you hope to start for just a few times. Now, let me tell you a story. while I was going to serve, I had it in mind that I was going to save everything I earn. And the question is, if you save everything, all of your allowances, what are you going to survive by? How do you feed? How do you clothe? How do you do all other things, all the basic requirements of life? That's the question I needed to answer. Now, you see, it's not just about save. It's easy for someone to just come on board and ask you to save, but it's not that easy because you're human. Whether you're married or not, you have a family or not, you're always going to need money. Okay, now you need to also put that into consideration so that along the line you don't run into problems, put yourself in a tight corner, and at the end of the day, all that you have saved will now be used to solve problems. No, so I had to think about it. Okay, if I save all this, what then can I do? How do I get funds to help me at least survive within that period of 1 year? So I started to think, what skill do I have? I did menial jobs. Okay, I did menial jobs. I did paint production. I had to follow people to sites to work if they have painting jobs and many other things. In fact, at some point, of course, home lesson was one of them. I worked in factory, and all of this earned me small change that kept me going. Now, it allowed me to save my allowance without touching it because I had other means of earning money to keep me going. So, because I had this plan, I was able to save all throughout that year. So at the end of the 1 year service, I had over 200,000 naira. Now, this money probably now is not so big, but it was a big achievement for me as at that time because it took 1 year to gather all that, and not just about the money, that I was even able to discipline myself to do it. So you need to have strategies. Don't just talk about saving so that you don't come up with a resolution that, okay, next year I want to be saving 50%, I want to be saving 30%. Look at what you earn, look at what you currently spend, and on what you spend. If you need to cut down, if you don't have to cut down because they are important, how do you continue to maintain those things without and also save the amount you want to save without touching it for the period of time you want to do so? These are questions you need to sit down, draw a plan, and be realistic, be sincere. Don't just get excited over some maybe inspiration or some motivation, and then you just put yourself in a tight corner and start to think. It's possible to save everything you earn, but you have to have a strategy to do that. You need to understand that if you're going to save, of course, there are other things that you're going to have to do. So how do you do all of that and save as much as you will want to? These are strategies, these are things you need to take care of before you go ahead and do that. Now, I said you need to treat your finance like a living being. Start to see it like something that has life, something that needs to breathe, something that needs to feed, something that needs to grow. So when you treat your finance like that, it means that you feed it. Okay, so you feed it. The more you feed it, the more it grows. So have that patience to give it what it needs. It means you save. Close your eyes to it, or have someone discipline you to do so. And while you continue to do so, allow it to grow. So that every time you save something, you are feeding your finances. And then as you feed it, because you're feeding it, it will naturally grow. And you need to give it because it takes time for human beings to grow. So you need to allow it to grow and have patience, a lot of patience. It means that you're going to shut your eyes to some designer clothes. You're going to shut your eyes to some things you know you can afford, but because of the greater reward that awaits you, you just close your eyes and let it grow. Just like you train a child. If you train a child well, they go to good schools, they feed well. You see that at some point when they become big and they have gone to school and they have graduated and gotten good job, they come back to also take care of their parents. So if you do this to your finance too, it grows and they come back to take care of you when it's time to now get your saving, invest it in some kind of business you already understand or you have taken your time to build over time. So you just remove and invest there. So start to see it from that angle. Treat it as though it's a living being, and then feed it. So every day it's your baby, your baby. So every day you go to it, have it just like condition your mind to think that you are going to feed a baby that will grow into a big boy or girl tomorrow that will in turn take care of you. So if you always have this at the back of your mind, you will always save, and then as you continue to save, know that of course as long as the sun rises and the night comes, one day you will cash out this money and then start the investment of your dream or the business of your dream. So one more thing, and then we will continue with the live chat on our group. One more thing we need to look at is that some of these things you need to understand that one, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Let me prepare your mind. It can be tough, but we can do it. You can do it. I can do it. Anyone else can do it, but we just need to start. You start, you meet people like you who are also on that path, and they are going to assist us, work side by side with us to get there. So this is just the beginning. We are just starting, and I ain't going to leave you until you succeed. So go ahead and succeed. Watch this in case you didn't join us live. Watch until the end and subscribe to this channel if you are yet to do so. We will continue, and I will drop this kind of video even though it's not live. You are going to be getting this from me, and for these few days I am with you. We are going to go all the way together to succeed, and it's a promise. And I see you succeeding and doing greater things in 2022. Now, this is not just talking. It's about backing it with action. You need question. You need answers to questions. You need to know what to do about your finances. Do not keep quiet. Ask question. Ask me or any other person who you think knows better, and then we will get there in no time. Thank you, and see you in another video. Bye for now.